inner gut and knowing, are you doing something for the right reasons? Understanding what it is that you're really after to achieve. That comes in, you always hear like the 1 year, 5 year, 10-year plan. What is it that you're really after? Like, is it happiness? Is it business success? Is it free gifts? Like, what is it that you want? And be honest with yourself of what you're after. And then, honestly, like since I had my daughter, that has put so much into perspective for me and what matters and what doesn't. And it's allowed me to take all the noise out and really look at something for what it is and dissect it. Those are my 3. So go have a baby. No.
Well, on that, you talked a little bit about the reaction and the noise that your followers make on your feeds and whatnot. So how important is engagement? How important is it to connect with your followers, your fans, and all that? And does that actually like quantify like your success in a way? Because can you measure that, and is it important?
It is of utmost importance to me. It is, I think, one of the larger reasons why my blog did grow at an accelerated pace compared to most. I'm very, very engaged with my readers. At the beginning, I would read them all, but I would literally comment back to every comment, every single one. If somebody asks me a question, I answer it. I read them all, so I can imagine reading something and somebody being like, who makes your shirt? Or like, hey, I'm going to a wedding, and can I wear this? I can imagine just not answering. It's like somebody, being like, hey, JC, and it's like, no. Like, I can't imagine that, and they're everything to me. If it weren't for my readers, I wouldn't be sitting here right now. So, like, I owe them everything.
People's makeup, and then that turned into a job, and then they hired another makeup artist, and then that makeup artist ended up owning a makeup store, and she was friends with my brother, so then I started working there, and I learned a lot. And then on the weekends, I was doing like weddings, and then doing the news after school. So like, I was like, yes, like this is awesome. But I knew like I was good at it, and I knew I was good at making people feel good. But like, I feel like I was like the type of person that always overworked. Like I worked too hard. And I think somebody once told me an artist needs to know when to stop. And I was like, not stopping until you felt like Cindy Crawford when I was done. Yeah, I just kind of always knew. But then makeup kind of wasn't enough for me. I was like, well, I could do the whole head. I could do somebody's hair. I was like, well, wait a minute. I could turn you out. Yes. Then I'm gonna pick out your outfit. Then I'm gonna tell you what shoes to wear, and then I'm gonna go out with you. I just wanna absorb all the attention you're getting. I did that. So that was basically me as a teenager in a nutshell. And then when I moved to New York when I was 19 turning 20, nothing really changed.
LA is a whole another story, and I was like, I just really want to focus on something and build something, and I didn't know what it was. But then when I looked at what I had on the table, I was like, okay, what do I have going for me? I have that blog that I started, and I would update frequently, but it was just a hobby. It was just something that I enjoyed, something that was fun. But then, I went to Simply Stylist LA, not even joking, Sarah, okay? So I was like, okay, LA is obviously the epicenter for all things, fashion and beauty. So I started Googling, are there communities? Is there fashion groups out here? Can I make friends that are in fashion and beauty, that are bloggers? JC was already, I think at the time you were already doing blogging. There was a lot of girls that were already doing it. But for me, I was just kind of figuring out that, this could be something. So I signed up and I came to Simply Stylist LA, and I was sitting out here like you guys are, and I was just so fascinated. First of all, I was like, oh my gosh, it's Kat Sadler. And then I was like, oh my gosh, Whitney Port was on the panel, remember that? And so many really cool people. And I was sitting there and I thought, wow, this is actually a thing. This is like a community. I feel like for the first time since moving to LA, I kind of had a little jump start. Okay, it starts here. I'm not alone in this.
All over the place. So I think did I turn my mic off? You probably can't tell because I'm really loud. Oh, is it back on? Can you hear me? Oh, that's so sweet. Can you hear me? Oh my, this is so Libra, brother and sister. Oh, are you gonna pin it on me? Oh, he's so sweet. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, you're good. You're back.
I literally can't tell because my voice is so loud. Okay. Thank
tequila. What was I saying?
So you were like, you were Libra, and you were like all the colors of the rainbow.
I said, oh yeah, that's perfect. I'm literally all over the place.
No spam.com.
Most authentic self, first-rate version of yourself, not a second-rate version of somebody else. Like, that's all that we can be. That's who we are, and it has served all of you so very well because you're dynamite.
You know, is really good if you want to, whatever makes you happy. And so I know they talked a lot about that at the conference earlier today. It's like figuring out what kind of, you know, pushes you and figuring out your voice. And I think a lot of that is just being really authentic because there's so many of us in this space, it's so saturated. And if you can just be yourself and show the world who you really are, that's your best advantage is being you. Because I think, you know, we all kind of try to be someone else for a little bit. I went through that. I was like, oh, that blogger's doing that, and this blogger's doing this, and I want to do everything. But I think you just have to really stick to what, you know, what really feels good to you.